Hey everyone, Chrissy here with Footprint Tarot. This reading is going to be a check-in on Lindsay Graham. He's been very quiet. I mean, I haven't really heard a lot of news or anything about what he might be doing or not doing. He's just sort of been like not there. So I thought we'd do a bit of a check-in on him. We'll use my favourite overview spread for that. And I'm using the Tattoo Tarot, Ink and Intuition, and I'm going to use the Sibyllas for a bit of clarification. Okay, so let's have a look down here, will we? So I hope everyone's going well. I hope that anyone who's in those areas that have been affected by the weather from, I don't know if it's ex-Hurricane Barry at this stage or, you know, the system that was Hurricane Barry, going okay. I know they're expecting a lot of flooding because the Mississippi River is so high, and I hope everyone is safe and okay and with their loved ones. Okay, so let's have a look. What's happening with Lindsay Graham? So let's have a look at the bottom of the deck. What have we got? 10 of Cups. The GOP. Something's with the GOP. 10's are also an end of something. So not sure what's happening. I'm not sure if Lindsay Graham is up for election next year. I'll have a quick look. I'll just pause and have a quick look. So yeah, it looks like he was re-elected last year in 2018, and just looking at his bio there, he was in the Air Force. He is a military veteran. All kudos to him. I mean, I have nothing against people who serve their countries. Personally, I've got nothing against Lindsay Graham. I think that he is a conservative Republican, and I think he's lost his way because I think that John McCain was really a lodestar for this man, and when John McCain died, he sort of lost his way a bit, where he was willing to, I think he's gotten confused and stuff. But anyway, that's just my opinion. And I have neither like nor dislike for him, which, you know, a bit of disappointment, I guess, but that's it. So anyway, something is going on with him and the Republican Party at the moment. Something leading to an end of the cycle. I don't know whether he's indicated to them that this term is going to be his last one or not. I don't know. Anyway, and surprise, surprise, he's just in the news and he's refusing to condemn Trump's remarks about those Democratic congresswomen. And here I was saying he's been awfully quiet. Anyway, King of Swords. Lindsay Trump at the moment, King of Swords, Lindsay. Sorry, Lindsay Graham at the moment. I'm just going to check his birthday. When was he born? Republican personal details. July 9th. July 9th. What's his star sign then? He's a Cancer. So he's a water sign. Basically, given that he refused to condemn Trump, he's placed himself firmly in Trump's camp, and that's where he's put himself. What are current influences on him? The King of Coins. Resources. He sees Trump as having control over funding and resources because of Trump's hijacking of the RNC, and so for him, the current influence for him is pleasing Trump to make sure that he can keep tapping into what he feels are the resources, and that includes keeping his own voters happy. I think he should go and actually talk to his voters first before he feels that, I think he should go and talk to his constituents first before deciding. But none of them are doing that. They're just making assumptions about their constituents, and I think the ones who made assumptions about their constituents lost big in 2018, and with the senators who are up for re-election next year, they're going to lose big too. So Lindsay Graham isn't, but yeah. That's current influence. That's where he's at, and this is why the influence that Trump has on the purse strings and things like that. What's above him? Oh, he's feeling strong. He's feeling strong. This is what he wants to think about. That he's strong, and the government is strong, and the administration is strong. That's what he's feeling. Here's near future. 7 of Cups. Gaslighting. He's going to join in the gaslighting. He's going to try and confuse people, and he's going to possibly, there could be an abuse of his position there. But somehow I still get, even despite all this, what he's doing and stuff, he still seems to me to, in the background, just looking at him, he seems to have this fog of confusion about him. About that could be, I know a lot of readers have commented on his sexuality or not. That's, to me, it's got nothing, that's his business, and he can leave it at that. If he wants to come out, he can come out. If he doesn't, he doesn't. Maybe he is still coming to terms with it or whatever. That's his business. But it seems to maybe lend to this fog of confusion he seems to have around him. At least that's what I pick up whenever I watch him or see him. He sort of looks like he's trying to see through the clouds or the fog to try and pinpoint what he wants to say. That's whenever I watch him. What's underneath him, and what doesn't he want to think about? The Knave of Cups. News. The Knave of Cups is generally news. And it has come to represent recently, at least to me, it's come to represent news about this Epstein business. He doesn't want to think about it. He really doesn't want to think about this Epstein business. I don't know whether he's involved or not. But there's something about it he just doesn't want to think about and doesn't want to face up to. Okay, in his recent past, the Lovers, he's had to make partnerships and either reconfirm the strength of those partnerships or reassess those partnerships. And I think he may have had a look at the partnership he's gotten himself into with Trump and all that, but it doesn't look like he's made a good decision, because it seems that he's given himself over to the Trump. He's drunk the Kool-Aid or whatever, even though he might have been looking at it. To me, it gets the idea he's stopped and had a look and thought, am I doing the right thing? And maybe his assessment is, I have no choice because he's the one with all the resources, and I have to pledge, not pledge allegiance to my country or to my constituents, but to Trump. I don't know. I just think he reassessed it and still came to the wrong conclusion. What is in the next step? The Wheel of Fortune. There is going to be a change of fortune, a destined change of fortune for Lindsay Graham. Yeah, I think something's going to come out in the next step of his life, and it's not necessarily going to look all that good for him. Do a couple more clarifiers from this deck, and then we might have a look at the Sibillas. So, what's this thing with the Knave of Cups? It's a long-held secret. It's going to come out. A long-held secret's going to come out, and it's got something to do with the Epstein business. I think everyone's been focusing on girls, but I think Epstein got people what they wanted, and I think that people should remember that sex trafficking and sex slavery is equally involved with boys as well. Unfortunately, yeah, it's horrible, whoever it involves. So he's doesn't want to think about it, but he's had news about something, a long held secret is going to come out, and he just doesn't want it. He's burying his head in the sand about it, whatever it is. But maybe that's why this is what he's thinking about, gathering his strength. He's got to strengthen up his defences, I think. So we'll have a look at that. The Six of Coins. This is about money that he's received, or money that he's given. This is back down in here, even though I said we'll have a look at the strength, but I think maybe he's going to have to strengthen up his defences, because he's going to be asked a lot of things about money. And the Eight of Swords, I think this is to do with this. He's going to try and cloud the issue, because the immediate thought that often comes to mind, and the immediate thing that came to mind here was a prison of some sort, but prison, and it's often referred to as a prison of your own making. And I often refer to it now as the painting yourself into a corner card, and I think he's painted himself into a very bad corner, and he's going to try and use anything he can to cloud and confuse the issue and gaslight. One more look at this. The next step. This is the next step that I pulled up. So I was looking at the Tower. Look, it's not looking good for Lindsay, because this is an overview. It's a relatively, to me, it's a relatively short-term spread. It doesn't go into months. It looks, I think, more at weeks to the next couple of months, maybe up to 2 months, possibly stretched out to 3, but generally weeks to 2 months, and it could be stretched out longer. I think he's got real trouble ahead of him, a real change of fortune and a real Tower moment coming out. It's got something to do with the Epstein business and long-held secrets, and it's also got something to do with money. I think that's clear. These cards, I don't often need clarifiers with these cards, but I don't think the next couple of months are going to be too good for Lindsay Graham. Yeah, so that's that with this gentleman. It saddens me when you see someone, when you look at his military service and the way he stood and worked with John McCain and stuff, and let that man be his lodestar, and sort of, and I think he has achieved a lot of good things in the past. I don't know, because I haven't, but just that's the general impression I got. The overall opinion I have of Lindsay Graham is really one of sadness. I think this man, he could have been so much more, and he could have done so much more, but he let his fears of what people think and his fears of losing resources, whether it's in terms of votes or money or whatever, he let all of those cow him, especially after he lost the person who I considered had been his lodestar for many, many years. And it's sad to see someone who did have promise. And I feel he did have a lot of promise. It's sad to see that promise just being eaten away at and then finally dissolved into a puddle of mud that there didn't really have to be. If he'd have just spoken to people about a lot of things in his life throughout his life. That's my opinion anyway. If you, like I said, I don't have any particular like or dislike for the man, but I do just feel an overwhelming sense of disappointment and sadness that I feel he could have achieved so much more. But that's my opinion. Please remember to click like and subscribe and click like if you like the videos. And I will see you at the next video. Not quite sure who I'll do yet, but you'll know when you see it. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.